Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of Rendezvous with Anza Saqib on CxO Global TV. CxO Global Forum is a knowledge-sharing platform for all C-levels across the globe. We take massive pride in contributing to the knowledge economy with our League of Extraordinary Thought Leaders. Today as well, we've got a very special gentleman with us. His name is Mr. Hassan Mohammad Khan. He's the practice lead at CERM, Pakistan. So without further ado, let's welcome him to the show. Welcome to the show, sir. Hope you're doing well today, and thank you so much for making time.
You're welcome, Anza. I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show.
So let's jump right into it. Please tell us about your professional journey and experiences so far.
Well, so I started my career as a textile merchant back in 2004. It was a very different field from where I started. I got exposure towards the ERP solution there at my first employer and got interest into the ERP side of it. Later on, I did the certification for SAP. And from there, I actually got an opportunity to work with one of the leading implementation partner in Pakistan back in 2007. Since then, I've been associated to the ecosystem where we actually implement SAP and other ERP solutions to our customers.
Right, that's very impressive. So moving on, let's elaborate a little bit about what exactly your role at CERM Pakistan entails on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I am actually leading the practice here, where my sales and delivery teams report to me, and we actually keep an eye on the upcoming opportunities, help our customers to actually find out what are the best fit solutions for them. And then later on, once the projects are signed, the delivery team makes sure that the implementation is delivered as per the expectations of the customer. So I primarily look after both of the teams and make sure that our customers are satisfied.
Right. Now, how do you view the overall startup ecosystem in Pakistan? You've spent some time working in the corporate sector here. So how do you view the overall ecosystem, number one? And two, what are some of your policy recommendations?
Well, I believe Pakistan is a very lucrative market for startups, and we've seen examples, companies without naming the name customers. I think Pakistan has got a lot of potential for newcomers because there are certain areas where the entrepreneurs enter into the market and solve some problems with the customers. So I personally think that startups should focus on long-term service deliveries and satisfaction of the customers. There are a lot of customers who are dissatisfied with services, especially, and one thing that I personally feel specifically in our ecosystem is that there are niche areas where we don't have expertise in Pakistan. The individuals here are very talented, and if trained, they prove to be very good resources, specifically in the IT sector. So I personally think if startups invest in training young talent, it will be a good proposition for them.
Right, some very pertinent points made indeed. Now, moving on, what do enterprises need to keep in mind when evaluating their risk management?
Well, I think internal controls are very important, and the technology, because technology is helping a lot of companies in mitigating the risk involved in the corporate sector. And we've seen giants in Pakistan investing a lot with their risk management, mitigating the risk within the corporate sector. Also we also provide specific solutions for governance, risk, and compliances, specifically for mitigating risk. There are programs as well to educate companies to identify what could be the possible areas where there are risks, but the companies are not aware before any incident happens. So a lot of companies, a lot of vendors are also working on educating the customers to actually keep an eye on the risk attached to their business operations.
Right. So, I'm sure you work with a lot of different people, right? And
yes,
oftentimes we've seen that, especially because, a lot of millennials and Gen Z have joined the workforce, and a lot of times there is conflict in the workplace. So how do you handle conflict resolution in the workplace as a leader?
well, I am a strong believer that technology belongs to the millennials, and uh, within this particular ecosystem where we are actually providing services, I personally think that young blood has a very crucial role, because they bring in fresh ideas, they bring in fresh technologies to the companies. Um, our typical way forward to actually infuse the incumbents, the young blood that is coming in, is actually assigning them with future technologies, areas where we do not have expertise, as in the market is concerned. For example, IoTs, blockchain, and these kind of technologies. And the research that the young breed has is better than people who are already working within the space, because these are the technologies were recently evolved and has a lot of potential for the market in the coming future. So I personally think if we encourage young talent with trainings and getting hold of new technologies and bringing in fresh ideas, it is very beneficial for both the organization and the individuals as well. By the way, we have been contributing a lot in producing good talent within the workspace that we service in, particularly SAP. We have produced good talent that who are working right now with giants within the market.
That in itself is an achievement.
Yes, indeed.
Now, if I were to ask you, what inspires you to show up to work every single day, what would you say?
I personally think the satisfaction of our customers, because that is one thing and that keeps us moving every day. Because the market that we're working is typically a sales-driven market, and if you have satisfied customers, it means that you have a potential to grow as well. So I think that is one thing. A good feedback from the customer actually makes my day.
Right. Now, we've heard a lot about Hassan in his professional life. Let's talk a little about your personal life. So if you could describe yourself in one sentence in your personal life, what would that be?
Well, I am passionate to learn new things, and I keep on exploring new challenges. If you look at my, profile as well, I started off as a textile merchant, did my hotel management certification as well. Meanwhile, I was working, in the, supply chain side as well, and then towards the IT field itself. I am not a technical person. Recently, during the past 4 years, I shifted to sales. So, I like new challenges. And personally, if you ask me, I'm a person who enjoys new areas and challenges as well. Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm sure throughout your professional and personal journey, you might have encountered failure. How do you perceive failure?
Well, I think failures are very good for you if you take them positively and learn from the outcomes of those failures and try to, fix the things that possibly could be the reason of those failures. And I personally think during the past 13 years, 14 years of my career, there have been instances where I realized that I could have done better. I could have avoided this particular situation in order to make this a better situation for myself. So I personally think that failures uh, are good teachers, and one should learn from the failures rather than just getting depressed about them.
That's an excellent piece of advice. But how about you share with us what is the best piece of advice that you have ever received that has really helped you excel in your professional career? And who did it come from?
Well, I've been very blessed when it comes to having mentors, and I always reach out to my mentors whenever there is a tough situation in the professional career, or when I seek any advice from them. I think the best one-liner that I've received from one of my mentors is "keep moving," and that is something that has a lot of whether there is a very broad a term that actually encourages you to explore other things as well, because when you stop moving, you stop learning, you stop exploring new things, you stop being yourself. So I think that is something that encourages me whenever I'm down. Yeah.
Thank you so much, San. It's been an honor and a privilege talking to you. It's been a learning experience.
Likewise.
Unfortunately,
Likewise.
we've run out of time for today's session, but before we sign off, I would like to ask you one last thing. What do you think is the utility of forums like CxO Global?
Well, personally, I think this is a very good initiative, and the thing that actually helps from this kind of forums is connecting. So today in the modern world, connectivity is everything. When you are connected with a lot of people, you learn new things. You keep yourself updated with what's going on in the market. And I personally think CxO Global Forum is investing a lot in actually connecting resources, talented resources together. And I think you guys are doing a great job. Keep doing that good work.
Thank you very much for your time, and please
You're
keep
welcome.
contributing to the knowledge economy.
Sure, I will.
We hope to hear from you soon. Ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, that will be all for today. And please keep us updated with your comments and feedback. We look forward to them. We'll see you next time with another very special guest. Until then, take care. And that's it from our side.